What's up, everybody? Welcome to BTL. My name is Frostbite. I'm joined by Chicken the Wing.
Hello.
And Tygoon.
Yo, what's up?
From Knights of Ishtar. We will be co-casting the Wingman versus FFC game, and we are excited to get into this. First time for me casting. I believe these other two have casted before, so we'll see how it goes.
Dude, I'm excited for this game because there is so much trash talk throughout even like multiple weeks, especially between I think Pixel Wolf is actually being subbed out, but Pixel Wolf and Zaratha and whatnot. So
I personally haven't seen a single FFC point game up to this point. I want to see them. I want to see the mythical new jungler that I've been promised. I want to see him go 22-0 in lane. Thoughts?
In lane. Oh, so he's not even jungling. He's just going to the lane.
I mean, that's what junglers should be doing. I don't want him clearing a single camp. Just give me kills, you know?
Yeah, I'm also excited to see this jungler. We have not been able to play against him, so it's a little sad. But I've heard and seen very good plays from this player, and I'm excited to see him in action and see what he can do against the Wingman squad, and also see if Wingman is able to pick up a game after their very rough start early on this season.
yeah, we actually haven't played the Wingmen roster, Knights of Ishtar, or the Wingmen, because they actually had sort of a roster reshuffle, bringing in Nukes, I believe, which is also considered a Grandmaster player. I believe he's also playing in the jungle role, so we'll actually be able to see Frenzy face off against another high elo jungler, which I don't think we have seen that yet. So, it's gonna be a good one.
Nice.
What's up, Clash of the Titans?
Oh yeah. Actually, before we start anything, do we want to go into a quick little prediction thing, get a little spicy?
Oh God, why would you do that?
Before we see any draft, we haven't seen draft yet either, which
yeah.
is a little bit of an issue.
Just for the stream, or just for the viewers, draft has already happened. We were a little bit delayed, so we don't actually know what the players are playing yet until we actually get into the in-client draft. But I am predicting a 2-0 FFZ. I think that with the new jungler in their squad, they are just a very powerful team, if not one of the top 3 teams. And I think that Wingman, with their struggles that they've been having, it would be awesome to see them win and pull it back, but it's just it's been looking rough for them. I think their only win would be, is it Rat Legion? Do you guys remember?
I got no clue, man.
Something like that.
Yeah, let me go find their where is it?
I'm going all in Wingmen. Wingmen's got this. They're gonna clutch it up. They're gonna sweep the floor with FFZ. This game. This is the one. They show up. Yes, sir, they do. I have faith. Full faith.
Yeah, it was Rat Legion that they beat against.
All right, so that's a 2-0 for FFZ, 2-0 for Wingmen. I'm gonna go 2-0 for FFZ, and here's why. They both have most of their points kind of centered around their jungle position, but based off what I've seen, because I've watched almost every BTL game, just chilling with the community, Nukes and their side play more like a solo queue-esque playstyle. They have actually pretty decent individual players, but on the side of FFZ, Frenzy seemed to bring the 4 players around him together, and they're probably one of the best teams. Not like with like just individual players. Like they actually work as a team, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I agree. We've seen a lot out of this FFC squad, especially with that. We keep pointing back to this new jungler that they've had, and I think that he being, I believe, GM, he's brought a lot of knowledge to this team that is not necessarily up to that level, and it is showing in their games since.
I believe that player also is participating at least in the NACL qualifiers, so
yeah,
very very high elo player for sure that we're not typically used to in BTL, but it's very exciting to see what our other players can bring to the table.
So I just got message from production. We will not actually be seeing the draft at all. They're having issues getting the client to pop up for us. But we can talk a little bit more, and other than the predictions, that we have. What do you guys want to see out of Wingman to see them beat this FFC giant that is starting to form?
I want to see them. I want to see a clean game from either one. I want to see just an absolute stomp. I don't care which team wins. I want to see a stomp. That's what'll entertain me the most.
Oh, really? I want to see Wingmen work as a team. I want to see them kind of go hit for hit with FFZ. I don't want to see. So their jungler's name, their IGN is Wheels Fan. I don't want to see a 30 bomb again and just watching them roll over another team. I want to see two teams kind of battling it out. Even 3-game series would be sick. I kind of we don't see Pixel Wolf anymore in the bot lane for Wingmen, so it's kind of unfortunate we can't get that rivalry between her and Zaratha. But so I'm gonna look because I'm a top laner myself. I believe it's is it Mad Chef for FFZ, and for Wingmen it is. Does anyone know who their top laner is? I believe it used to be Nano.
I have the roster pulled up. Let me pull up the rosters real quick. For Wingman, it is going to be Don Fari or Fare.
Oh, okay. So I wish I could pronounce it right. Wait, Fari, I remember has played Kale in the past, and I want to see if we can get any like spicy drafts like that, which we are not sure yet. But
all right. Well, that is our predictions. But don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back with some Black Twitch League action, and we're going to send it off to break. Thank you. All right. We are in game. This is our first look at the teams. Looks like we have Gnar top lane, Shyvana jungle, Pantheon mid, Seraphine Rakan in the bot lane for Wingman, and we have the Malphite top lane, Kindred in the jungle, Poppy mid, and the Lucian Nami power lane in the bot lane for FFZ. How do you guys feel about these comps, and where do you guys think that their strengths are going to lie?
My first concern that I'm seeing here is with Wingmen's comp. I'm not a huge fan of their late game coming into this game. I think that the Seraphine plus Pantheon pick is a little wacky together, maybe a little quirky.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Chicken here. I'm not entirely sure like who is going to win them this game. Who's going to win Wingmen? Looking on the side of FFZ, I know who they're gonna try to, who they're gonna win the game with. It's gonna be on the backs of TS. Wait, is that the same jungler? On the side of FFC?
It should be. Yeah, he's in call. I believe that's just a different account. Probably just doesn't have all the champions on his main account.
Okay. That says TSM. I don't know what account that is. We're just gonna call him TSM. TSM on the Kindred mixed with the Lucian Nami. I mean, double 80 carries. They should have like a clear win condition. Only problem is they don't really have too much AP damage. Is the only thing I'm
What are you
kind of
talking about? They got Malphite.
Yeah, they do have Malphite.
Nah, that guy clutches up. You gotta have faith in the big rock pick, my friend.
Maybe.
Chicken the wing, hard simping for the Malphite. Looks like we did have standard starts for these junglers. We do have a Kindred invading the top side of the Shyvana's jungle. So if they do not know that this is happening, it is going to set the Shyvana back quite a bit. And being behind a Kindred jungle is just recipe for disaster. Like, that is just free marks for that champion.
Yeah, we're actually gonna see the Shyvana walk up here. Nukes is gonna kind of run into this nasty surprise of having no buff, no Gromp, and basically no options other than maybe going for that Scuttle Crab there, which maybe a nice little treat, but this TSM Kindred is gonna be kind of in a good position here for sure.
All right, it looks like we have the Kindred hovering this mid lane with the Poppy. There is a lot of CC that can be pushed out, and the Poppy goes in, stuns the Pantheon and stops his W stun. Shyvana goes in for the trade. Does she get it? She gets the trade, and now there's a 1v1 between the junglers. It looks like the Kindred's going to come out on top here, and boom, that is a double kill for the Kindred, and that is a huge starting lead for this carry-focused jungle with having this Nami and Malphite Poppy, just a crazy frontline enchanter combo. It is dangerous. And it looks like we have another fight breaking out bottom lane, and it goes to another kill to Zaratha on Lucian, and that is just the power of having these weak opponent laners for Lucian Nami to just abuse. And it looks like we have another dive on Kindred. Kindred's looking for the kill. This is looking like it's pretty free, and boom, that is another kill. 3 kills on this Kindred. Oh, and a Poppy is fighting. This game is just fight after fight. And it looks like Poppy just gets pushed away. We probably will be seeing a reset out of there. The mark for Kindred is on that bottom scuttle, so that is just more advantage to this Kindred.
Oh, we have seen this before, fellas. This Kindred TSM, whatever you want to call him, Frenzy, Guttis, whatever. 3-0 already at 4 minutes on this Kindred. This is not the place you want to be for Wingmen.
Yeah, I believe the in-game name for him is Oh, and we got a fight happen in mid. It's another gank on this Pantheon, and just his devastation. Kindred starting 4-0, hasn't even backed yet. We're looking at a back of a possible boots and some items just to get these ganks going faster and faster. The jungler's in-game name for their main account, I believe, is Coach Ray, if I'm not mistaken. So,
the jungler?
Yeah, I believe that. Is that? I believe
that's their mid laner. That is their mid laner.
Oh, then I have no clue what jungler is. I guess we'll find out.
This isn't not at all what you want to see out of a Pantheon lane. That guy starts falling off the moment you load into the game. He falls off a cliff in the late game. What is he going to do? Press R and instantly die? Cool. You did something. He is 0-2 at the start of the game. This is not looking all that good.
Yeah, and we have a Rakan engage, just a little quick trade. Yeah, the only thing that Pantheon's really providing is CC on the carries, but with Poppy on the enemy team, there's not much he's going to be able to do. He can't really get to those carries just because of the Poppy stand fast presence, if I'm not mistaken on that ability name. And,
there's so much peel on Fantastic Force team. There's so much. You got the Kindred ult. You got the Malphite engage with his E and Q slow. You got the Poppy W. You got the Nami ult. There's so much peel. A Pantheon is not going to do anything into their comp.
With the side of Wingmen, their comp isn't necessarily too bad if they're already ahead. The problem is they're not getting there at least.
They're just not ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like we have a quick another trade in. A bubble hits the Nami. Lucian goes in, and exhaust goes down on the Lucian to stop the kill from going over. But that Seraphine is very dangerously low, and another E combo with the Lucian Nami is a dead Seraphine on my screen.
Ooh,
I can see it now. Looks like we have a dive coming in with
the Kindred was spotted there.
Kindred gets spotted, but Shyvana doesn't want to see the Kindred, to be completely honest. And that is a Seraphine dead. And this is looking like it's just going to be a dive. I don't think Colby can get out of here. They just have to position properly. Lucian should be able to pick up this kill with the dash Q. Oh, Nami flashes in with the W to take the kill. And that's just more kills going to this bot lane and jungle. It's going to be very hard to take control of these two very hyper scaling 80 carries. And a lot of people don't think Lucian could play late game, but with the new items, that champion is, on my opinion, more disgusting late game than he's ever been.
All right, so now what Wingmen have to do here is they have to somehow take advantage of the flash discrepancies of their bot lane and the jungle on the side of FFC. They somehow need to bring that Pantheon over, maybe even like bring a TP player, something with this Gnar, because this Gnar isn't really going to do too much. Speaking of which, a little bit of trading in the top side.
Yeah, it's looking like a wet noodle fight here, but the Gnar goes in completely. The Malphite is just not respecting the damage. Will this turn out into a trade? FFC does get the first dragon and goes in bot lane. The Malphite is pulling out. Looks like he is safe to go. So it looks like it's just a nice trade for FFC to get that dragon. Herald's not up for the trade, and they're not complaining about that play.
Yeah, no, not at all. Again, looking at the flashes of the Kindred and specifically the Lucian Nami, all three should be pretty vulnerable at this stage. This is a very short window, especially for how much of a gold lead and a snowball that they're accumulating for themselves. This Kindred, this is the only time you can really kill Kindred, I think.
Yeah, and Rakan goes in, knocks up the Nami, and the quick trade. Lucian goes forward with his E bubbles. And they're just continuing this fight. Lucian is out of mana. He just can't do much more. He is a spell slinging 80 carry.
I think all Wingman has to do right now is get the Ludens, it looks like, that Shyvana's building. First item right away. Just send her bot, one-shot the Lucian. That's all you need to do, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be that hard.
Yeah, that is the upside for this Wingman comp. The Shyvana is going to have lots of bursts on these very squishy champions. Yes, the Kindred ult can stop the instant death, but if they are low from the get-go in that fight, it could be very dangerous, especially with a Gnar being able to throw them out of Kindred ult.
Yeah, not too much. Oh, getting a decent wave chucked in here. Not seeing too much. Yeah, so the thing with Shyvana is she actually has great zone control because of how large her E is in the big fights with her ultimate form. So that could actually cause some trouble for the squishiness that is Zaratha and TSM Border playing on those Kindred and Lucian champs. So
if there is one upside to the Wingman comp, the Gnar Shyvana burst is very deadly. Oh, Nami looks like looking for a play bot lane with her ulti. They are just going forward, but again, this Lucian just has no mana. The bubble hits on Seraphine. That looks like it's going to be a kill, and the Knight goes down, and that goes to another kill to Lucian. And now there's a fight going top lane. The Shyvana is taken out. They are chasing the Gnar. I don't think anything will come of this. But we're looking at pretty juicy backs for this Lucian, and the Kindred already got her Triforce at pre-10 minutes. That is going to be quite deadly for this Wingman comp.
It's looking like everybody's getting pretty close to their mythics here. Poppy's probably one back away.
Yeah. And looks like we look like a possible dive here by the Kindred. They're just probably going to get this Malphite to push up. Malphite ult is down. The Kindred ult is up. so they can dive this pretty efficiently.
Hold on, can we take a minute to look at the Nami's build here?
Oh, and
That's
we gotta get Oh, this Gnar is trapped. This Gnar is going to be trapped here. The Kindred is going in, and that is just another kill. That was not Kindred's mark, though, but I don't think that matters too much. The Poppy stops the Pantheon. It looks like a quick trade here. Nothing should come of it. Oh, a Knight goes down on the Poppy. Don't know what Pantheon was exactly looking for there. We have the Shyvana mid with ulti.
All right. A few things that happened that I liked, actually, what the Gnar did, trying to just clear the wave as soon as possible because he knew that he was in a position to get dove there, which is actually true. Unfortunately, Kindred gets the kill again. She didn't get any of the plates. She did get to the jungle, but actually didn't lose as much gold as he could have.
Oh, and Poppy goes in. Oh, and the Poppy ult goes down, hits nothing. I don't think you needed an ult there, Coach Ray, but I guess it's better be safe than sorry. We're looking at that. Oh.
Yeah, let's look at the gold lead here.
Yeah.
30 CS up on that bot lane, Lucian. I mean,
But you got 30 CS up on the top lane to make up for it.
Yeah, there is a 4K gold gap. Looks like we have a fight here. The Malphite went in. The Shyvana goes down and ult. There's a TP coming in from Coach Ray. The Malphite looks very low, is not dead, gets saved by the Kindred ulti. Malphite walks out of it. Kindred is very low. This could, or that's Gnar, sorry. Gnar is very low. This looks like it's going really bad for Wingmen. And Gnar goes down, and there's a fight going down bot lane. The Nami ult goes out, and we're back top lane, and a double kill for the Kindred. Nami's super low. Rakan ulted. Seraphine ulted. Looks like a trade kill here, possibly. Nope. And that Nami is dead to the minions. Here they come. Oh, and the minions just get that Nami kill. A kill going over to Seraphine. That's huge. They are diving top lane, and that is just a dead nukes on the screen.
That is exactly why you have to respect
definitely
the
overstepped
Malphite.
here. He is ignited. They are both low. Everyone is 1 HP in this bot lane fight right now.
Oh, there's so much happening here. It's still 1 HP bot laners, 3 of them, in fact, in this game at top.
Oh, the Lucian W snipes the Rakan. That is just very clean play by this Zaratha 80 carry. Some would say that possibly the weakest of the Fantastic Four, seeing how he's not a true member. He is Fantastic Four and Zaratha. Oh, and Kindred's looking to dive this Seraphine. Seraphine's not respecting Kindred. Oh, Kindred backs off. I don't think Kindred needed to back off there. I think that was a pretty free kill for her. The mark is going on to Pantheon.
Maybe the exhaust on the Seraphine just came up. It's possible that she manages to outplay.
Yeah, Poppy's taking a bad trade here. Brought down to 2/3 health, chugging a pot. Going back to half HP. Looks like there's a Dragon Call. A Herald got dropped top lane. There's going to be some plates for this Gnar. These are the two guys you really want to see ahead for Wingman. They might be trying to dive here. Malphite is just chunking them out. Gets 2 more plates with the Rift Herald charge. There's a fight, looks like possibly happening in bot. Rakan is in the bush. No one knows.
I'd like to take a second to talk about that Malphite pick and that very long, egregious, extended fight that just happened right before my very eyes. He was just able to walk out because he's playing Malphite. He presses R, he presses Q. That man just literally walks away for free. That's why you gotta respect the pick.
Looks like we have a good trade. The Seraphine being brought down to 1/4 HP from this very fed Kindred there. It looks like they're posing for a dive. You have the Poppy tank here. Lucian is pushing the wave. They are just waiting for the wave. As soon as this crashes, this is looking like a dead Wingman comp. Lucian ults. Oh god. Poppy is going in and it's a clean sweep, a destruction of that Wingman bot lane. Malphite is just 1v1ing the Gnar under tower. Gnar ults. Malphite is just going to chase here. He has the Q slows, and there's nothing that Gnar can do. He's just going to be dead in the water. Oh, the Gnar flash goes out. Can the Malphite catch up to him? He does not have flash. Shyvana jumps over the wall with ultimate. That is going to be a dead Malphite.
Nah. Oh, yeah.
He does not have any MR against the full AP Shyvana. That is a very, very huge burst there.
That was pretty silly what that Gnar did. I'm surprised he got out. It worked, but I mean, it's still silly. It's still goofy what he did there.
Yeah, a little bit of a goofball, but at least you have to look. They did get the gold, as you can see, 5,400 now on the Shyvana, which is kind of how. It's a big part of how they win this game if they can find a winning here.
If you're able to one-shot the Kindred before she presses R, then like Kindred R's not gonna do anything.
Exactly. Looking at the builds here, Frost, you are the AD carry main. What are you thinking about this Lucian build? And is there another build you could possibly go, or would you say this is the optimal?
No, this is the optimal play. He's going Storm Razor for that quick move speed trades, and then looks like he's building the Gale Force. Gale Force is just a very disgusting item on Lucian. Gives him a lot of more mobility than he already has. Looks like we're having a quick trade here between the Malphite and the Gnar. I don't think Malphite can actually win the 1v1 here if Gnar does not tower dive. The damage out of that champion is just too much against tanks. But
No, there's no chance for Malphite to win that. They gutted his W a while ago. That was the entire reason he's broken. The only thing he is now is just a big ol' meatball that's steel plated for his team.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. He did go Frozen Heart first, which I think is a very interesting item. The only really attack speed you're seeing here is from Gnar. I think there could have been better optimization for this top, such as Thornmail.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, well, like the one issue here is that Shyvana is like gonna be a lot of AP damage as well.
Poppy is very deep, getting caught. The Nami ult goes down. The Pantheon goes in on the Kindred. The Kindred pulls out very safely with the Poppy ult, and it looks like they're taking out the Pantheon. The Pantheon might get punished, but Shyvana goes in. Huge burst damage coming down. Nami dies. The Pantheon dies. The Rakan is dead as well. The Shyvana is getting chased down by this Kindred. I don't think the Shyvana can get away here. The Kindred goes in, gets the kill, and that is just a nice 3-for-1 trade for the side of FFZ. Their gold lead is really starting to show here. They can just do these very, very deep plays with no regard for their health because they're just so far ahead.
Half an item more, I think that Poppy dies on the Shyvana to that Shyvana either.
Yeah.
I mean, the team is playing around TSM border very well, but if you saw right there, wherever Zaratha is going, things just kind of die at the moment.
Oh, most definitely.
Almost 60 CS up on his counterpart, 20 CS up on anyone else in the game. Well,
a 10-0 ADC and a 6-0 ADC kind of lets you steamroll fights.
Yeah, it's not really what you want to see, especially on a comp that you kind of have to be in range to do what you want to do, I would say.
If we could get production to take a look at the Kindred, I just want to see how many marks. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but I would love to see how many marks are on this Kindred. It looks like we have a fight happening right now. The Nami gets absolutely bursted. This is huge for Wingmen. Wingmen just lost their jungler, though. It's looking like a nice TB flank from the Poppy. Rakan is going to die to the Lucian, and the Pantheon is just caught out. There's just not much they can do. It was looking good for a second there for Wingmen. They got a nice pick, but the Kindred damage on that Shyvana just destroyed that team fight right there.
You do have a lot of bounties on Fantastic Four, though. I think Shyvana just somehow. I think unfortunately the back of this game just rides on Shyvana being able to one shot. I think if she's able to get the shutdowns through just murdering the enemy carries, I think it's possible, but it's looking rough.
The biggest issue that I see right now is that even if Nukes gets like a decent amount of gold, he'll never get the amount of gold that he'll need to outstat FFZ, especially when it comes to just that pure base stat of levels. Like, as you can see, Nukes is already 2 down, or 2 levels down.
Yeah.
TSM Hoarder.
So TSM Hoarder is going in on this Rakan. This Rakan ulted to try to get away. Does he have the move speed to get out of there? Shyvana's coming to support, and it looks like he does get out. The Kindred could be chasing here, though, and does not. He just pulls out and goes to a camp.
Well, speaking of levels,
yeah. Oh, sorry.
That Lucian Zaratha's level 11. He's gonna be.
We have the Poppy flank, and the fucking Seraphine just. Oh, sorry. Seraphine just got absolutely shoved into the wall, and Pantheon does go in with the ultimate. Does get Malphite ult with the double knockup, and the Gnar is jumping away. Looks like this could be an inhibitor right here for FFC. Lucian goes in and absolutely destroys the Gnar. The Gnar just does not have any tank stats. He's full damage right now. And it looks like, oh, they are not going to get the inhibitor, which might be a good play. They cannot free farm there. It looks like they're moving towards that Baron on spawn. If they do get this and secure this, which looks like they will, because Zaratha is on the bottom side being answered by the Malphite TP, they are going to be able to crush these outer turrets and just look for a triple inhib. The Shyvana is just ignoring the Malphite, and it's a big mistake by Nukes right here. The Malphite is going to chase, and that Shyvana just gets 1v1.
Stop ignoring the Malphite! He doesn't do 0 damage. He's a tank.
There's a lot of disrespect right there. I think there could be some tilt, and I think at this point Wingman just needs to hold that mental game and survive through this game and just look for any wins that they can and bring it to the next game. Because as we're seeing right now, you could definitely see that the game is getting into some of these players' heads, making these very obvious mistakes that shouldn't be happening. Looks like we have a play happening on this Malphite. The Pantheon stuns, the Rakan W hits him. Malphite's going to hit a Q, try to run away. No, Malphite's actually going to take this fight. Malphite's just taking no damage. The armor, he ults in, kills the Rakan. Oh, the Rakan lives with 1 HP. Pantheon is walking out. Malphite is still chasing with the Q. He does get one. Lucian goes in mid lane, half health the Seraphine, and does get the kill, and Shyvana is just going to get walked down here. The Rakan is getting chased by Poppy. The Poppy looks like for the ult, and the ult does kill the Rakan. And that is going to be at least 2 inhibitors, if not Nexus towers as well. We do have some pretty long death timers. We got 20 seconds on everyone that is dead. It is a 2v5 right now, well 2v4 with Malphite being in base.
The 1v2 Malphite special, he certainly is cooking right now.
It doesn't matter who wins this or who this game.
Bursted.
FFZ is just better
They're
right
just
now.
They're just gonna end.
They could be looking for the end here. They do have all 4 up. Malphite is still not there. It looks like he's got the double W chase on the Kindred, that's the Nami. The Nami is very low. The Kindred does get a trade kill, and it's just a double kill. That's a triple kill. No one is dying on FFZ, and that is going to be game here. There's not much a Seraphine can do. She is 2-6 against this absolute domination of an FFZ comp.
18 Magi stacks on the Nami.
Oh,
by the way,
looks like it is going to be game.
Ooh, not even a single mythic on the Nami. Magi's into mandate. I'm giggling. That's a funny build.
So that is the first win going over to FFZ with a dominating fashion. What do you guys want to see out of this Wingman comp to rebound here and hopefully take a game 2 or take it to game 3? What do you want to see out of them?
I think personally, they just got outdrafted. I don't like the Pantheon Seraphine at all. I think that was a mistake. I think they didn't play well enough around the Pantheon. I think they allowed him to get behind way too fast for the pick that Pantheon is. I think there's a lot of mistakes that they could have fixed. They can look better next game, I'm thinking.
I agree. What about you, Tygun?
I want them, to draft better, and I want them to, fight for things. I want them to actually have a goal, and I want them to stick with it. I think that's like part of the issues with some of the weaker teams in BTL is that they don't necessarily like have a plan and like how they want to win. And I kind of saw that there with Wingmen with how they were drafting, and kind of like towards mid to late game, the game was over, and they just gave up on the idea of winning, it seemed like. So
I do agree with you there. And what do you guys want to see out of FFZ to pull this series win next game? What did you think they did good, and what do you want to see them continue to do for game 2?
I think they had, like I was saying before, I think they outdrafted. I think that their comp was looking good. They clearly knew what their carries were. They clearly played around them. They just got a big old spoon, the biggest spoon they possibly could, filled it with as many Cheerios as they could, and shoved it down the Kindred's throat. They just got to keep doing that.
Hagen?
Yeah, I mean, they did what they do ever since the roster reshuffle with TSM Order and Zaratha. They just play around those 2 players. They put a engager facilitator mid, another tank top lane, usually playing weak side up there, but able to set up some ganks to start the steamroll going with TSM Order, and then just throw whatever you want. Support Yulu knows which. Is it Yulu that's playing?
Yes, I believe so.
No,
that's
it's TDR. Jakers knows. He knows what he's doing. He knows his role. So.
Yep.
I kind of just expect him to do what they've been doing for the past 3 weeks and cruise on to a 2-0. But
All right, everybody. Don't go anywhere. We do have a game 2 coming up. Wingman versus FFZ. We will be right back with some more Black Twitch League action. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. We are at game 2, FFZ versus Wingman. These teams do not want to give us a break. They are ready to fight and go. Looks like we do
starting
have a
without
Zeri.
us even.
Yeah, it looks like they have a Zeri first pick, which we were told was a draft mistake, but they're just going to keep it. So possible Zeri mid, maybe with a misfortune lock-in. What do you guys think about what you're seeing right now?
Oh, I think they're going to go Leandry's misfortune support. Yes, that's the play.
yeah, I could maybe see them getting some kind of prio here. I liked how they double picked their bot lane after blue side Wingmen picked one of their bot laners first instead of a flex pick, so seems standard so far. Nico.
She's going to turn into a jungle plant and one-shot the entirety of the enemy team.
Yeah, the Aphelios Lulu is a very interesting bot lane synergy pickup here. I don't really like the Aphelios pick. I don't think the champion does a lot right now, but I could be wrong. He does have a decent win rate in solo queue, and by decent, I'm 48%, but that's pretty good for Aphelios. But the Lulu combo pick with it is just very interesting. I guess they're just looking to keep him alive.
It's actually kind of funny. Aphelios is actually Pixel Wolf's main champion, so it's kind of entertaining seeing Zaratha bring it out against her own team. Not that she's playing today, unfortunately, but finally get to see a little bit of 200 years action this game, which is always at least chaotic and fun to see. So now going into the bans Poppy and Sejuani. Ooh.
They're banning their own Malphite pick, man. You gotta pick it again.
Oh, we are actually mistaken here. The Wingman is on red side here. The names haven't been swapped over yet. So that FFZ comp, the FFZ is one who drafted Zeri, Misfortune, Nico.
Oh, I see Pixel Wolf in the call for Wingmen actually. So we will
Pixel
get
Wolf
to
back.
see the Pixel Wolf's Aphelios this game, which, if I'm not mistaken, has been banned basically almost every game against Wingmen. So
Yeah.
this is going to be a good one.
The Zeri will struggle, I think, in this lane if that is a Zeri Misfortune bot lane, just because Aphelios does have the purple gun to roots, and Zeri does struggle when she cannot keep her movement going. She's a very easy champion to kill. The new build that people are doing does make her tankier, so once she does get to that 3-4 item mark, she'll be harder to kill. But if they can abuse this with the Lee Sin, Aphelios, root and kick, this can be very dangerous for the FFC comp.
So I have a question for Tygoon here. Why do you think they banned Teemo?
I think
need
that's their
your best
placeholder
answer.
ban, actually. I believe that is their placeholder ban.
Oh yes, they do have a.
What
a
if FFC wanted to play Teemo?
Well, if they did, I don't think Cassiopeia is going to complain there. I don't think Cassiopeia struggles in that lane.
Yeah, I think Zaratha was going to play AD carry for FFC. I think that's why they banned it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, he's very known for that, pretty sure.
That makes sense to me.
There's one thing that I'm very concerned about here, and if you know anything about the history of this season at least, don't really want to give a player like TSM Border Graves, especially on this patch where Graves is pretty giga broken, at least from everything that I've seen and heard. So that's a lot of priority coming out of the jungle for FFC.
Yeah, I want to see the Wingman jungler just avoid this Graves at all costs. You know that they're going to invade. This jungler always invades the opponent's jungle. And Lee Sin just needs to force a vertical here, I think, to get the most out of what he wants to do. It may be tragic if he has to vertical topside, because ganking Yorick is never fun. But I think that's what we're going to have to see, just so that the Wingman jungler does not fall behind too far, as we've seen the FFC jungler do to these comps.
I think what possibly happened in draft here is Nico being the flex pick she is. Wingmen probably went all in on them thinking that it was going to be a Nico jungle, so they probably weren't concerned about a Graves pick coming in here.
Yeah, I'm very interested in how this Nico is going to play lane. We do get to see the shenanigans for the first time in BTL with this Nico pick. I don't think any teams picked her prior to this, and you know, when you got to start counting minions to make sure that you're not about to get ganked by the mid lane Nico, it's gonna be very annoying. I personally hate counting my minions, but every time I see that champion, it just has to be done.
Can't count to 6, Frost?
No, I can. It's just when I'm focusing on 2 other champions poking me at the same time, it can get a little hectic. And you know, you see a Zeri Misfortune bot lane. There's a lot of poke coming out of that lane. Yes, Aphelios should be fine with his extended range over Zeri, but it can be annoying, especially with the Misfortune E slow. And if we see an AP Misfortune, you know she's going to be maxing that, and it's just going to be very, very hard to keep track of everything that's going on in that lane. Oh, I can hear. Wait, I could hear the stream there. Oh, it went away. Tragic.
There's something we might have looked over. That is a Cassiopeia top lane.
No, we
commented on that.
Oh,
we were talking about the Teemo ban.
It could be an Akali. Akali can get out of the Yorick cage and stuff, so it could possibly be an Akali top lane. So don't throw that out of the book yet. So I don't know the top lane matchups, Tygoon. Unlike you, I personally don't like seeing Yorick. I hate playing into that champion. He's just a split push god, but it's very hard to answer him. So how do you feel about these 2 possible picks, Akali or Cassiopeia, into him, and what do you think they're going to be able to do against that split push power?
So, I mean, Yorick has been known to get kited pretty easily. The only option that he really has is his slow from his E and obviously his baby cage. So, I mean, Cassio can probably has a lot more kill pressure on him, but I would say I would probably put Cassio top here just because she can get a lot of movement speed. Probably could go get away with base rush. I'm sorry, I'm not too used to Cassiopeia top. It's kind of been like a new thing that I've had to experience. So one thing is that Yorick is a little bit harder to help Graves with the ganks here. So maybe a little bit
Definitely
harder
weak
for
side, right?
yeah. Except the thing is TSM Hoarder likes to go top lane early to get the free kills. So Cassio
I mean,
might want to be
last
careful from
game,
overextending, but
he was doing pretty well about playing around the bot lane. They got a few dives down there.
that's right. He did get an early kill mid into a, I guess
Mhm.
a double kill mid into a dive bot.
Plus, there's a Zeri for him to play around this time, so getting that champion ahead is always that's what you want. You want the Zeri to be ahead post lane. She will steamroll any team comp. Doesn't matter how fast Cassiopeia is. Zeri scales on attack speed.
Yeah, I don't like to see the misfortune
Or
with the
move
Zeri
speed, I mean.
though, because Zeri loves those enchanters just to like constantly be enabling her passive. So seeing a misfortune down there with her is going to be very interesting. It's going to be a tough lane for sure. But I would not be surprised seeing Wingman's Aphelios Lulu coming out on top in this lane. Will it be enough to take on the Graves and the Nico, which have been very good picks for this FFC? I don't know. I will just have to wait and see. And I want to see Wingman succeed here because everyone loves the game 3 with everything on the line, and we haven't seen the Aphelios off the Wingman squad yet because, like Tygoon and Chicken were saying, they have been permabanning that champion from Pixel Wolf. So it must be their best possible AD carry that they can play, and they're pulling it out here because they need this win. They do not want to lose this series because that would just put them so far down.
Yeah, so how would you have this Aphelios set up to win this game here if you're the side of Wingmen? Do you think they have enough tools to stop FFC from just running them over, or do you believe Wingmen actually have drafted themselves a comp that can actually win themselves the game here?
I personally
think... Oh, sorry, go.
Okay. I personally think Wingman has a very clear win condition here. I think that they know what they're going for. They picked an early game jungler here in the Lee Sin pick. I think that they picked strong solo laners. Not really super. They're not jungle oriented. I would say they don't need the jungler there. So I think that this Lee Sin should feel confident to be able to just devote all of his resources and time to playing around the spot side.
All right. Well, it looks like we're going to break here, preparing for this FFC Wingman game as we load into the Rift. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back with more Black Twitch League action. All right, we are in game 2, FFZ versus Wingmen. We are out on the rifts. Let's see what we're looking at here. Possibly a 5-point or invade from either team.
Looking like a couple 5 points here. If you're FFZ going into this game, you gotta feel good, right? After that last game, it was kind of just an absolute stomp in the jungle and bot lane.
I'm going to kill you from Dawn
Whoa.
from the chat.
Oh.
Oh.
I was like, what?
What did I do to you, man?
I'm going to kill both of you. No. Yeah, I'm feeling great if I'm FFC, especially after thousands of gold have gone into your pockets last game, in despite of Wingmen just floundering around in the pits of the ghetto. I don't know. They're Wingmen are gonna try this game. I believe in them.
Yeah, I am excited to see the Pixel Wolf of Philios. We do have a Cassiopeia top. So now that you know who's actually playing that top lane, Tygoon, how do you feel about that matchup for Wingman?
I am comfortable with it if I'm Cassio, as long as Graves doesn't ruin my day the entire game.
I mean, Graves shouldn't be ruining your day, right? In this comp?
No, but TSM Hoarder has found a way in these games, so I'm kind of just expecting it at this point. But I mean, Nuke's also, respectively, like he's also a pretty high elo player. Like he should be able to maybe counteract some of the plays that Hoarder goes for. Like Cassio will scale in a great way as well. So as long as she can kind of like keep up in gold with the York, I think that's going to be the major challenge for her.
If Hoarder does go top, is that not what you want on this Lee Sin? You want to, when I'm picturing the Wingman's team comp here, I'm picturing, well, first of all, that was disgusting what I just saw in the top lane with my eyeballs. That should not have happened.
Looks like Wingman did pick up on what I was saying. They did force a vertical jungle here. Graves is on the bot side, so this can be very dangerous for Wingman, but the Lulu should be good to keep him alive, especially with polymorph and shields. And Lee Sin will not get behind, which is a good start for Wingman.
But it's also kind of scary because I was just about to say the Lee Sin definitely wants to play around the bot side here, right?
Yeah. They can abuse the York early game just because he doesn't have Maiden. Oh, looks like we do have a dive. Nukes is going in, does hit the Q and gets first blood. That is huge for Wingman. Does have to flash out. Oh, he does get executed though. That is very good for Wingman. Get a fast back here. He does lose his double buffs, but I don't think Lee Sin's complaining about that. Looks like we could be possibly having a dive here bot lane with the Graves. It's going to be very hard. Lulu is out of mana. Derry's taking a rough trade. Graves goes in, misses the Q, and Aphelios does get flash ignited, and it is just a double kill for the FFZ.
What is with executions this game?
Oh, that is another execute. That is a little rough for Wingman squad.
Still got a couple flashes up in the bot lane.
Well, for another gank possibly mid lane.
I think this one would be a little.
He does hit. Akali is in a very dangerous spot. She does have barely any escape with the E. The E does go out. The Lee Sin comes in to save her. The flash Q from the Graves does get the kill, and Lee Sin just gonna have to walk out to not save. Does get hit by the Nico E and might die to the Nico Q. Does not. Looks like we have a good trade to flash forward by the Cassiopeia and does get a 1-for-1 top lane. That is very good for the Dawn.
Bro, this is not looking close in the top lane. I feel so bad for this Yorick right now. I would be if I was that Yorick, I would be absurdly tilted.
What they did there was they set up a 3-wave dive top lane, which actually was free because of the vertical jungling that took place in the early game here. So that actually made it very playable for Nukes, at least in this top side. He should be getting some decent help because Cassio should have Cryo from here on out now. So not the worst start for Wingman, actually.
Looks like we do have a very small trade happening in bot lane. Not much is going to come of it though.
So we were concerned about the bot side here, and there certainly has been some fights down there, but It's looking like the true prize of Wingman's draft here is the Casio. That's what it's looking like. She's going to town. Like she's just going crazy again, man.
Oh, Casio is going to take a bad trade here. Those little minions are a pain in the butt for any top laner to deal with, and Casio does take a rough trade there. I don't think she's playing too much though because of the range advantage. The E is missed by the Yorick, and looks like we do have a possible 3v3 brewing on the bot side. We do have a hover by the Lee Sin.
I think they're just gonna go back to farming their jungle.
Yeah.
Order does seem to like to go for these dragons pretty early on, and it doesn't seem like Wingmen will give it to them for free, but there's a kill on the top side.
Yeah, another solo kill going towards that Cassiopeia. This is looking very rough for the Yorick. There's not much he can do. This range discrepancy is going to be very tough for him to come into until he gets a little bit more tanky, but it doesn't even look like he's going tank. He does have a Serrated Dirk first item. Very interesting choice there, I in my opinion, just because the Cassiopeia is going to be able to abuse him so hard.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be going Eclipse on the Yorick into this lane either, but who knows? The healing on it may just come in clutch, may save him in fights.
I'm not entirely sure. What you used to do is you would go Prowler's Claw on that champion, and it was actually working quite well. But after Riot taking away the dash active that Prowler's Claw gave you,
it looks like we do have an invade by the Graves. The Graves is auto-attacking the Lee Sin. The Lee Sin gets chunked down to 1/8, and he is just trying to secure this buff. Does get the kill transferred over to the Nico. The Cassiopeia is going in with the Kali. Looks like they're trying to get a trade here. Nico does ult, knocks up the Cassiopeia, and the Nico does get ignited. The Cassiopeia is chasing for a kill. That's going to be a double kill going, or not a double kill, but 2 kills going over to Wingman, which is not bad. This Lee Sin did get invaded there, but I don't think he's complaining with his carries getting more and more gold put onto them. Cassiopeia can be a real struggle for this team to deal with because they just don't have any true backline access here.
It's not the expected win con that we were looking at here, but I mean, having a fed Casio is never something that you can complain about.
So it's Casio on the top side for Wingmen, and the 30 CS lead kill up for the Zeri on the bot side for FFZ seem to kind of be the counteract of each other, I suppose.
The Kali back to Yep. Yeah, it is a little rough for that lane down there. The Misfortune Poke is just really abusing the Aphelios and Lulu. It looks like Akali does looking for a quick trade. Graves is here to hover. Nothing comes out of it too much. Akali should be able to get out. Does get actually... Oh, I'm actually surprised that they got a kill there. I guess Akali did use the E there, so she did not have any escape with her flash being down.
That Graves was level 6. His ulti's gonna clean up there.
Graves is invading right now, taking more and more gold away from this jungler. It's just so hard to compete against him when he's just constantly taking the camps. Cassiopeia is very dangerous right here. She does get stuck into the cage, but she does get the stun with her ulti, and nothing will come of it. So that's a pretty good trade for her. And
Graves is coming up.
Oh, Graves is coming up. Oh, and she's just dead, getting hit by that Yorkie. There's not much she can do once she's slowed.
That is a shutdown over to the Graves.
Yeah, and that's the one champion you don't want to see the shutdowns going to just because of his one-shot potential. And there's no real tank on the Wingman side other than the Lulu ults, but I don't think that's going to be enough.
So, Frostbite,
Mm-hmm.
how often do you play Zeri into Casio?
Not that often. I don't see Cassiopeia that much, but it can't be fun being grounded, I can tell you that. Wingman does get the first dragon of the game. That's a good start for the jungler, despite being put on the back foot. And that's what you'd like to see from the Wingman proactivity here. But yeah, back. Oh, go ahead.
I'm kind of just trying to figure out how does Wingmen deal with Zeri in this situation. Obviously, the miasma from the Casio can kind of slow her down. But it's not like
they don't really have any targeted CC other than the polymorph from the Lulu. There's no free CC like a Nautilus to just press R on the Zeri. There's no just like it's gonna be a little rough to lock down this Zeri. I think like infinite move speed scaling was a mistake.
Yeah, it looks like we have a potential dive happening down here. Nuke does have the ulti. He's looking for a dashboard, does kick and get the kill on Zeri. And Nami does get out with her life. Ult to save. Oh, Nami gets flashed on and gets killed by the Misfortune. Misfortune does die in the trade, though. I don't know if that was necessarily worth for the Misfortune. You're just putting more gold on the champions. You don't want to see it. But TSM Porter is chasing, does flash forward, and hits a trade kill with the ultimate after the Aphelios flash. And then there's a 1v1 dive happening topside on the Cassiopeia, and York is just dead again. The Sally build is not paying off here for this Yorick. He's just not able to win any of these trades.
Yeah, there's at least one player on the side of FFC that is not having fun, and that's going to be Yorick this game. Not really building any items that will necessarily be too useful going into mid to late game. Probably just going to be focusing on the split push. And just creating as much pressure as possible for his team to create the plays that they need to. But
looks like they are
great for him.
It looks like they are dropping Herald down here, looking just to secure some plates for this Nico to get her a little bit more back into the game after Akali has been pretty successful in the lane despite her being ganked a lot and just dying. But the matchup is not going bad for her at all.
How much of Wingmen's gold is on Cassio right now? I'm curious.
I would say a pretty decent
Is she just the banker?
And down here, and it's just a 2 double kill going over to the Nico. I'm not sure why Akali and Lee Sin took that fight there. That was, I think they're not respecting the damage coming out of the Graves and Nico. And it looks like we do have a 1-1 happening down here. Zaratha does ult on the Zeri and just chases down the Aphelios with having no escape because the Lulu is not there. Looks like we do have another 1v1 dive happening. Lulu does outplay the Nico with her ultimate. Nico is not respecting the Lulu, but the shutdown does get transferred over to the Lulu. That's not the person you want to see the shutdowns going to.
No, but what can you really do when she does it? She just dives to full HP. That's something. No one's clearing this mid wave either, which is a little bit rough for the side of Wingmen. But yeah, and Aphelios getting solo killed, losing yet another wave. Wingmen have to try to slow this down, maybe get their only money revolving around the map, but it's kind of hard when most of it is on your top lane, which is usually considered kind of an island. So curious to see how they're going to work around that and how they're going to try to spread the lead around a little bit.
Looks like we do have a possible fight brewing in the bot lane. Graves is chasing Lee Sin into the jungle, does get 2 autos off, and the Lee Sin is brought down to half HP. Then we have a 1v1 dive happening again topside, and York just gets killed again, but he does get the trade shutdown, or not even a shutdown, just gets the trade kill. But he does lose a pretty chunky wave up there, and Nico is getting full dove by the Akali here. She has to respect the damage and just dies. And now a 2v2 happening bot side. Aphelios being chunked along with the Zeri. The Zeri's getting some bad trades right here. Lee Sin does kick the Misfortune forward. They should get a double kill here. Graves is here. They need to respect the damage.
That was pretty clean from the Lee Sin.
I like how Lee Sin, he's getting several kills. They recognize that he needs to do that to spread the lead, but that last kill he gave over to Pixel Wolf, trying to get her back into the game and really trying to activate their win con here. Now going on to the builds for at least this Zeri and the Graves. Well, Frost, what do you think actually about the way the Zeri is going to build after the Triforce? I'm not entirely sure what you do after.
So the standard build for Zeri until they do nerf the Triforce is going to be Triforce Hurricane to help get the static chains from her ultimate, and then it's going to be straight into a Titanic. And once she gets that Titanic, it's going to be very hard to keep her in check just because she's so hard to kill at that point. Looks like we do get a first tower going over to the Cassiopeia. She does chase York into the Lee Sin, and York is going to be dead in the water here. He cannot get out. and the kill is getting transferred over to the Lee Sin. I don't necessarily agree with that trade. I think having the kills on the Cassiopeia is just going to be so much better for you. But nonetheless, they do get the first tower and they do get the kill. So the gold lead is not nearly as big as we saw last game, and that's very good for the Wingman squad, only being down 500 gold here.
This is where the Yorick pick is about to come in. He's gonna come online.
Yeah, looks like we have a fight happening in the top side jungle of FFZ. They do lose a kill here on the Misfortune. Misfortune was just out of place. It looks like Nico is caught out here by the Lee Sin. Lee Sin does not have his ultimate yet. Nico's ulting to try to get a trade kill here. They get one. Two people get CC'd by the Nico ult. They get a trade kill back, and Zeri's just online right now with her ultimate. She can't exactly chase because of the Cassiopeia there, but she almost got the trade kills. Cassiopeia is chasing, gets the kill on the Zeri, and then flash ults to try to stun the Graves, but does not connect, but she can still chase him. He does mess up the dash. He's getting absolutely chased down, and that is a huge shutdown going over to the Cassiopeia, and that is just a huge play there by the Dawn.
Dawn. They're doing the thing. They're spreading the thing.
You gotta respect the Dawn.
They did overstep there. Cassiopeia does flash forward. Oh, the Misfortune is just dead again. There's just more and more kills being transferred to this Cassiopeia. York is just forcing this tower down, not respecting the Philios damage. The Philios should get a trade kill here. Oh, and the flash forward by the Philios does get the kill, and that is just another kill on this Philios.
Who cares? He's opening up the map. This is where the Yorick comes in clutch. He's gonna just sit in the side lanes the rest of the game. This is where he applies the pressure. This Cassio either is going to have to answer him or lose a couple turrets. Is how it's gonna work out there.
Yeah, that was. I don't necessarily agree with the tower trade there, though. You do not want kills being put onto this Philios. Even if you can split push, if Philios does take control of this fight or this game, how do you even combat there? And for the first time in a long time, FFC is down gold. They are 2k down, and that is a good sign for the Wingman.
Did Cassio just TP over the wall?
Yeah, yeah. Looks like Graves is getting chased into the top side jungle of the Wingman. He's trying to get a trade kill here on this Lee Sin and does not get it. And a double kill going over to the Cassiopeia. We didn't even see that fight happen. Looks like Cassiopeia just dove the tower. And that is...
You gotta stop fighting this beast of a man.
Yeah, this Cassiopeia is going nuts. And to comment on that teleport, Tygoon, I think that they did that to push away the kill being on the Lulu because they could not chase the TP happening. They are diving this Nico. The Nico does ult, does get poisoned. The Cassiopeia is just DPSing with the E and does get the trade kill off the poison. And that is just another kill getting put over on this very fed 3-item Cassiopeia. 10 stacks on the Darksteel. Do you guys think she's going Magi's this game?
Oh, 100%, man. 700 gold shutdown. There's no way you don't.
There it is. Instabot. Right on that back. Yeah. No, I think Dawn has been playing very well this game, and I kind of like the confidence, to be honest, for sure.
Yeah, you do need the confidence here against this FFC squad just because of that jungler. But he's not able to get the lead he's so used to ever since joining the FFC squad, and it is looking rough for them. Oh, Cassiopeia is looking for a fight, possible 1v3. They do have the Lulu in the back. Cassiopeia is just chasing forward, chasing down this Graves. This Graves cannot get away. He does hit the Q. That poison is killing that Graves. And the Cassiopeia is now chasing. She's going on to Yorick. Yorick does wall to keep him safe.
Cassio does not care, man.
Cassiopeia is still going forward. She does have the Lulu ult. The Lulu ult should be coming out now. It does come out. And another kill onto the Cassiopeia. The shutdown does go over to Zeri. That is a huge shutdown for FFZ. They might have overstepped here. Pixelwolf is getting caught there, does ult, and then Nuke does go in to try to chase with Nano. Nano does get a trade kill here on the Zeri. Oh, whew, that was close. Lulu is being chased down by the Yorick while the Wingman's 2 jungle mid duo chase down the Misfortune. This should be a dead Misfortune here. Does flash forward. Lulu might be dead by a jump. Oh, does she get away?
Oh, she
Lulu
gets
does get away
too.
That is a nice, clean 3 for 2 trade for the Wingman.
That was a 4 for 2. The Graves died.
Oh, a 4 for 2. Nice. Looks like we are seeing objective bounties for the FFZ. They are down 4k gold. So if Wingmen can keep tempo here, they can deny a lot of gold by just not letting them get these objective bounties.
Yeah, this is the first time where I've seen this rendition of FFZ actually behind. So I'm very curious to see like how they kind of come back. I guess haven't really had any experience watching them try to come back.
Yeah, no, they've ever since this TSM Hoarder got put onto the team, they've always had a lead.
What can they do to shut down the Casio? Because in that last fight, they used literally everything to kill just her, and then the rest of the team just brought out the mop bucket and cleaned up janitor style.
Yeah, there's not much. They don't have a lot of backline access. The Yorick can cage her in, and she doesn't really have an escape unless her flash is up. But other than that, the Nico maybe can knock him up, but what can they do? Like, the Cassiopeia is so tanky. She does have the Seraphs and the Rod of Ages. It's just very hard to kill her. Probably does go in. Misses the E, misses the ult, and just gonna have to pull out unless they want to keep. Nope, they're gonna pull out there. That was a rough few missed abilities there by Nano. We do have a split push happening topside right now with the Yorick Graves, and Lee Sin cannot stop that. They might just get an inhibitor tower here. Oh no, they are pulling out because of the Kali moving forward. The Cassiopeia does chase the Nico down, gets a tower to match the tower that happened topside. Looks like Cassiopeia could be looking for a dive in the mid lane. And just looks like a good trade for the FFC. Cassiopeia is still looking. Nico does go forward, misses the E. What is this? Is dances? I don't even know what they're dancing for. Oh, a huge catch out there. The Lulu and the Cassiopeia just get one shot along with the Philios getting hit in the back by the Zeri.
Just like that, the gold lead is gone.
We do see a Gargoyle Stoneplate coming out of the Cassiopeia. Oh, and is this even going to get chased down all the way? Nope. Okay.
Nukes is out of there. Akali, those
Akali
don't slow people.
Yeah, Akali does get hit. She is stuck in her Shroud. There's not much they can do. Zeri does not care about Shroud. She can just auto-attack you if she knows where you're at. And
she gets the 1-for-1 at least.
We could look for a possible steal here by the Lee Sin with the Yorick still pushing.
Does the Lee Sin steal?
I think it's very possible with the QXQ plus Smite, but Graves is still fairly ahead, almost 3k, so.
Yo, Lee Sin does get caught out by the Yorick. Lee Sin is about to get one shot here by the Maiden. Oh, and she's dead. That should be a Baron, but looks like there's a fight happening with the Cassiopeia TPing in, and she does clean up two of them, gets a third. Can they get the fourth on the Yorick? They are chasing. Nico will be safe with the Baron though, so they do have at least a guaranteed one Baron. I don't think Yorick is going to die here. So they do have two Barons.
15,000 gold on the Casio, by the way. 5k more than Fantastic Four's most wealthy. Oh wait, 2k more. I didn't even see the Graves, that's my bad.
Graves is up there in the items.
But 15k, man.
Got 4 items for the Casio. The most on
5 items.
That's 5 items there.
5 items? Oh,
that's 5 items.
Oh yeah, she doesn't.
She can't get boots, my friend.
Yeah, well, 5 items even compared to the 2 items on the rest of her team. Yeah, she's got the bulk of the gold, I would say.
She is the champion on Wingmen's comp.
Zeri almost picking up that Titanic, just like you said, Frost. Gonna make it more and more difficult for Wingmen to kind of cut through their HP, but on the same side, the Gargoyles.
Akali's getting caught, just gets chunked 2 autos, almost kills her. One more auto would have, I think, killed that Akali if it crit. Cassiopeia is chasing on the tower on the Zeri. Zeri does ult to try to get away, does not get away. Graves is still chasing the Akali right now, and does he pick up the kill? He does pick up the kill, so it's a 1-for-1 trade off the sides of the map. They are trying to break
The wave
tower.
is in Wingman's favor, though.
Oh, Nico does get caught. She's trying to get a kill on this. Aphelios does get the kill, but I don't think she's getting away from this Cassiopeia. The Cassiopeia does hit the poison and E, and she's just dead. Oh, and Misfortune just caught here. She did hits by the Q, and the movement speed plus the slow that the Cassiopeia can get down is just disgusting. But they do have the Yorick split pushing with the Hull Breaker complete. He's going to get a full inhibitor here, and no one is backing to answer him. I guess they're just hoping that Akali can match it. But Akali's not going to be up for 5 more seconds. Oh, if Yorick does pull out, I think Yorick could have got at least the Nexus Tower there.
Maybe. Definitely dying there in that case would probably be worth it, I think, personally.
So Wingman does look like they're going for Dragon. They are going to get this soul point here. I don't think Graves can get there fast enough just because Cassiopeia DPS. Cassiopeia is at 24 stacks on this Magi. She is very scary. And yes, the Zeri did complete the Titanic Tygoon, but I think the DPS coming out of the Cassiopeia, she doesn't really care. This Cassiopeia just got too bad.
It's just more damage, man. She's going for probably a hat here next. She's going for the death cap. She's just gonna be mowing everybody over, and she can't die because she's got that gargoyles on her too.
Cassiopeia does get caught out by the Graves. The Graves does dash forward and dodges the Cassiopeia grounded. And Lee Sin does keep her safe. Lee Sin might be dead here to keep that Cassiopeia safe. Misfortune ult does go down, and nothing. Just that weak Misfortune AP ult. All her damage is really just that E.
That is the downside of the Misfortune. She's definitely a lane-dominated champion, which is going to be good with a Zeri, but I mean, I don't think the Zeri got fed enough to just steamroll like this Cassie is going to do.
Yeah, Cassiopeia is at full build. She completes her build with the death cap, almost max stacks on those Magi's. She is probably sitting at close to 900 ability power right now.
Yeah, I think
she did finish the death cap, by the way.
Oh, God. That was an Ember Alert, sorry.
Amber Alert. I think the two things that you're looking at for Wingmen is don't let your Cassio die for free, and don't let Yorick just take apart your base from the other side of the map.
They shouldn't. I don't think they need to be sending 4 people to stop the Yorick. As long as Cassiopeia TP's up, I feel like they should just have Cassiopeia match the Yorick. There's not much I think that champion can do. Nico does get a good trade with the Q-E combo onto the Lee Sin and Lulu. Lee Sin does have the back. They have a Akali matching the Yorick right now, but I don't know what that champion can really do against this champion. Cassiopeia looking for a possible chase. Oh, finds 2 of them. Gets caught by the Nico stun and into the MF ult. Gets the Lulu ult to protect her. She is trying to kill the Graves before she dies. Oh, the Gargoyle stun plate Qs, but just keeps getting stunned and stunned. And Cassiopeia is dead here. 1,000 gold going over to Nico. And the fight is just continuing to happen. Akali does get one shot by the Graves. They do get a trade kill on the Misfortune support though. And Graves and York are looking to just split and get this second inhibitor for the FFC squad while supers are pushing top lane. This can be very dangerous. They don't have much wave clear alive on the FFC squad. And that is 30-second timers on everyone. This could be a possible game-ending push right here. Lee Sin needs to look for a hero play on this Graves so Aphelios can kill him. York does pull out. Looks like they're not too sure about this play and they just don't want to risk it.
York's just going to town on the objectives. This is exactly what you want to see out of him. This is exactly why it did not matter at all that he lost lane. Except for the fact that Cassio is just mowing him down.
Yeah, but Cassio
in that last fight...
yeah, Cassio is playing a little too aggressive here, I think. She needs to play more with her team. Yeah, you're a one-man army, but at the same time, the FFC squad has
team game.
A lot of CZs. Looks like we have a TP coming in for the Baron for FFZ. And it looking like it's going to be uncontested. They just do it so fast with the Graves crit damage. And that is a Baron secured for FFZ.
Still got that York in the bot side the entire time, by the way.
Yeah, but with Super's pushing, I don't, unless they leave him unanswered, I don't know what else he can really get.
Run it down mid! Yes! Kill the turret!
One of the things that FFZ has been doing that I've noticed is they put the York, even though so far behind where he was anyways. They put him in a side lane, and then they have TSM Porter kind of sit in the jungle between him and the rest of the team, and he's kind of just picking off people that rotate.
Looks like we have a pick on the Nico. The Nico should die to the poison. Affiliate or Misfortune does ult, and Nano just gets almost one shot by the Graves. Lee Sin's super low. The Zeri ult comes out for this move speed. Can the Cassiopeia keep up with the DPS? She does get one. She gets 2 more E's, and she's just dead. That is a 3-for-1 trade for FFZ. You do have the Yorick split pushing top. They need to send someone to answer. It looks like they're sending Cassiopeia, and this could be a possible soul point or a soul for the FFZ or for the Wingman squad, having so many members down.
That is really good on the Cassia with the galley, with the freaking gargoyle build.
Yeah, Cassiopeia is coming up behind the Yorick. Yorick's maiden is gonna die. Can she get the trade kill on the Yorick? She hits the Q, gets the move speed, does ult for the slow. Will it be enough for Akali to complete this kill? And it looks like it is. And TSM Porter goes in, one shot, Pixel Wolf is going to do the same to this Lee Sin. This Lee Sin cannot take the damage, but the Dragon is blocking the auto attacks for the Lee Sin. You have a 3v1 on the Graves. Graves one shots the Akali. Can he one shot the Cassiopeia? Does 2 autos, gets the dash in, almost one shots the Cassiopeia. Gets the soul point for the Wingman though.
That's the Graves crit buffs coming in huge for TSM Porter.
We look like we have 2 supers on this Nexus tower for Wingman. They need to go back and answer that. One tower does go down. Looks like that Wingman's just being completely out macroed here. They just cannot keep up with the tempo that FFC is putting out. Cassiopeia is looking for a chase. She's looking at a 3v1 right now. She's getting a little greedy. She hits 2 Qs. Oh, one shots the Nico. Graves is coming in though. He's going to one shot her. And that is a Cassiopeia dead. This is looking very dangerous for the Wingman squad. Zeri's chasing with the ultimate on to the Lulu. This Lulu, I don't think can get away. Does get polymorphed, but it's not going to keep her away. Gets more and more autos. Her movement speed is just stacking. The Lulu does die to the Graves auto. And this is looking
like
a
build Graves has arrived.
Yeah, this is a 4v3 right now under the tower. And Nano's going in, trying to get a trade kill here. Gets a does not get the pick, but Aphelios does complete it for her. That's ADC for mid, but I don't think they can stop the Yorick push. He's just too tanky. Lee Sin goes in, does not have kick, tries to get a trade kill on the Misfortune, and that's just game before the Misfortune can even go down.
Very well played from FFZ.
That is a 2-0. Is this guy playing Graves or is he playing God? Like he's just running around with, he has smite and he's just running around deleting anyone he wants off the map. Like what? This is insane to me.
Yeah, and that is a clean, or not necessarily a clean 2-0 for FFC. They did struggle for the first time since seeing this new jungler. If I were to give MVP, it has to keep going to this jungler. He's doing so much for this team. But it looks like they did pull Zaratha in here instead for the interview.
No, I'm just vibing in here. No one pulled me.
Oh, okay. Well, you're here already, and your team did go 2-0 against the Wingman squad. I'll let Tygoon start with any questions that he has for you.
Oh yeah, because I've got lots of questions.
I will not be entertaining any questions on why we had an AP Misfortune support game too.
No, I love that pick, man. That's my pick. I love that pick. I respect that to no end. Do it again.
My support literally told us, we locked in Zeri and he was like, look, I told you guys, if we win game 1, I'm picking APMF support game 2. If you pick me Yumi, I'm leaving.
How were you guys feeling about that game too? It looked like that was the first time you guys struggled since getting the new jungler added to your guys' roster. It looked pretty good for Wingman. That Cassiopeia was doing a lot. She just got a little too greedy. But how were you guys feeling in game?
I won't lie. We were super trolling game 2. Like, obviously, draft was not our finest piece of work. But honestly, in game, like Cassiopeia was running over a lot of fights, so that was a bit unfortunate. But we still had the angle where, oh man, it was actually awful. We had to, our mid laner kept shouting at our top laner to push, because every time he would get the push going, when we could see people like just leaving vision, he would just start trying to back off. And it's like, no, man, you got to keep pushing. You're not worth any gold. Just die for the turret.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, were you guys talking about, like, how are you going to get Mad Chef back into the game after, like, the rough start?
No, we just accepted that he was now worthless and told him to split push.
Ah, the top laner's life, yeah.
Life of a top lane,
Unlucky.
for sure.
I don't have any more questions.
I I don't either. I just wanted to know how they were feeling about that game. Anything for you, Chicken? Looks like he's AFK. All right.
Wait,
All right,
he's
well,
gone.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for answering some of those questions, Zaratha. And that will wrap it up for this first series of BTL on this fine Saturday. Next up, we have Knights of Ishtar versus DPS. I don't know if their team name actually stands for anything, but it's going to be a nice a series, in my opinion. DPS is going to attempt to take on the absolute tyrant that Knights of Ishtar is in this league. And we'll see if they can finally take one down. It's a
Just
David.
Sucking yourself
Okay.
It is a day.
Okay, listen, I'll do it.
It's a
We're
day
gonna see DPS on their slump, trying to take on the unstoppable Knights of Ishtar. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 1 hour.
All right.